Oh my goodness, Jordy Smith special is unloading around the corner, leans into a lean back down carve under the lip. He will dance inside the pit at Punta Roca. And now Jordy lays down that front side carve, driving into another clean hook. Smith sets up a nice re-entry off the top, easily gets out in front and kicks out.
I grew up in Durban, born and raised in Durban. There it is, number 23. Kind of crazy how it brings up a lot of emotions, really, just to stand here. We came from a poorer neighborhood, and I think that just kind of molded me into fighting for everything that we got. We used to play in these flats a lot with the grass patch over there. And after a certain point, a lot of bad things used to go down, so kind of stopped playing there for a while.
It's a really special family story there of humble beginnings. He's been in the spotlight since he was a little kid.
World Under 16 champion, it's Durban's very own.
And for Jordy to live up to the hype, go through those early interviews where he's like, I'm gonna take everybody out on tour, those statements were real, and he did back it up.
And it is unanimous, a 10-point ride for Jordy Smith. It's your 2017 Rip Curl Bells Beach Pro Champion, Jordy Smith.
The impact he's made on surfing, on the industry, on movie parts, two-time runner-up in the world. That's an insane career. But he's still here, 18 years on the championship tour.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Yeah, here we are. I think it's 17 or 18 years later, and I just still love it.
That is Jordy Smith, the South African Zappa Smasher. Coming out of a barrel, laying one down.
I'm just a surf dog, absolute surf turkey, and I love competing. With a family, it's always family first, but that's one of the biggest motivators for me. If you're gonna spend time away from them, then you better make it time well spent. Doing it for them, for myself, for my country.
If Jordy Smith left the tour 5 years ago, no one would blame him. No one would change his legacy. He'd be like, he's one of the all-time greats.
We could be looking at potentially the heat of the event. We've got Italo Ferreira going up against Jordy Smith, both of these surfers on a fast trajectory straight to the top. We're gonna fire it up right now with Italo Ferreira in that yellow jersey, hammering two big backside whips all the way through to the inside. All right, first wave for Jordy Smith. Hammers it at the start. Big carving turn right there. Spray flying 50 feet, another. You can tell he is using every bit of his power with every turn he's thrown.
Impressive surfer from the big groove from South Africa.
So solid, so steady. A well-earned 8.67 for Jordy Smith. For Crosby, here we go again. Jordy Smith. This one looks like a gem. So we're kind of bouncing around him, but he's kind of riding through the chop with relative ease. He does improve. Now Italo needs an 8.73. What will we see from Italo? He goes down. Jordy Smith is on to the semifinals. That is a statement victory for Jordy Smith.
We've obviously had a couple back and forths, a little bit of rivalry every now and then, and I thought he was, maybe just kind of chomping at the bit, maybe a little too much. I could kind of tell with maybe a little bit of his energy. He really wants to smash me, and sometimes, you just can't let your ego get in the way of just surfing waves.
McGillivray makes the finals. Who's going to be next? Jordy Smith, Cole Hausman. Two power brokers going blow for blow. Business is about to go down. Straight off the buzzer, Jordy Smith drops a hammer.
Oh my gosh.
This is vintage Jordy Smith.
An 817 for Jordy Smith's opening ride. That's how you want to start a heat. Cole Hausman is blasting the back out of this wave. Wow, power circuit to start for Hausman. Score comes through a 5.33. Cole Hausman out the back with priority. Goes into a series of turns. And that wave just dies out beneath him. Jordy Smith now looking like a better wall. Huge layback hook. That could be all she wrote.
Nail on the coffin.
Jordy Smith closing the door.
He looks really unbeatable in this event right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for a South African super final.
It's given me a lot of fight, actually, to see the waves when they get really good. To now be in the final with Matt is speechless.
Final toss. All yours.
So Jordy has some really important people in his life that are integral to his career, and one of them being Graham Smith, his dad.
Yeah, having my dad, he'll be with me at a couple of events on tour. He's still my shaper, and that I think is just absolutely amazing.
Really fun that his dad and himself can just build a company together, built on experience, and it's proven with the Smith Shapes program.
The open relationship that we have, it's like since I've started riding his boards again, everything is, I don't know, just gotten better. You know, with myself, with my family, it's insane.
He's been on the tour for so long now. I mean, you know, it's just about trust your instincts and surf from your heart. Believe in yourself.
He's sure-footed, composed, and goes straight from one rail to the other.
That's all I think you really try to achieve in life, is to really impress your family, you know, your parents especially. They've done so much for me, and so if I can make them proud, kind of representing him and us, then I'll do that 100%.
History being written in an all-South African final. Matthew McGillivray representing J-Bay. Jordy Smith from Durban. Jordy, 18-year vet, the oldest on tour, a storybook career, a total phenom. How would that feel to be Matthew McGillivray right now? Looking up to Jordy his entire life, and then you got to figure out the way to beat your idol.
Jordy has been a big inspiration to me growing up, and a big inspiration for the next generation of surfers coming out of South Africa.
That's kind of just been my goal, really, is just to be able to inspire people. And if I can inspire one kid, then I've done my job.
Jordy getting this final started. The Smith Shapes V12 model looking great.
He's looking for his first victory in nearly 8 years, Joe.
Jordy, the great start, 7.33. Here we go. Matthew McGillivray setting up his first turn of the heat. It's that little slingshot wrap. Nice drive and fin throw through the end section for McGillivray. Matty gets a 5 out of that last one. Chucking the tail out is Matty McGillivray into a quick, precise fade. Hard off the bottom, big swoop. Real slopey inside corner. He'll just step off. That's gonna sting for McGillivray. We'll pop up to see Jordy in motion. Fading, weaving, setting up some arcs on the open face. Looking for it to build up down the line, and a big layback blowtail. And a lovely celebration.
I mean, this is so impressive.
37 years old, still loves his job. He said this is a good life, and that's why, right there.
This heat's over, Joe.
An 18-year veteran lets out a roar, taking the win over his fellow South African. Clobbers him in the celebration. Jordy Smith, your champion of the Surf City El Salvador Pro.
Well, the Smith man himself, he's taking an emotional moment right now. Congratulations, brother. He's gonna ride this one in for victory. We love you, bro.
And after all these years, how sweet does this feel?
Oh, yeah, Jordan.
This is for two people. This is for my wife. And actually everybody that holds it down, for the families and the people to be able to do this. The fathers, the husbands, everybody. Without you guys, we couldn't do it. And then secondly, my father. I've always wanted to, to ride his board in a final and to win on it. And that dream's come true. I love you, Dad. South Africa, let's go! Yeah, my first win as a father, you know. We want to show my sons that never say die, keep believing in yourself. And I know that I've made them proud, and that's all that really is about.
Seeing Jordy win today was just beyond special for the South African surfing community.
For South Africa, we're a sport-mad nation, but we're also a third world country. So to show people that there's a pathway to become a professional surfer, that there's success in it, is a really cool moment.
Seeing him back to number 5 in the world, coming into Bells as a former champ. Let's make this the year for Jordy Smith.
Decision time. Joel doesn't have priority. It will be Jordy taking it off him here. Second maneuver, a big blast there with the fan still flying.
Oh.
Big gouge there on the open face for the South African. Nice, easy paced wrap. But look at all the speed he's still carrying all the way to the inside. He'll just throw a little bit of a jam there as he's trying to tidy up the final maneuver. Hits it over the top. Let's enjoy this excellent surfing one more time.
Oh, it's so good to watch. He's just obviously so much experience out here, but just the awareness to place that turn a little bit lower, not go right to the top, snapping it around here. He's just putting on a clinic and locking into that fine form. I'm excited about this season for Jordy, you know. We spoke about it on the morning show, but this is probably the best start to a season we've seen from Jordy in about, 10 years? It's really cool to see, and this wave where he's won before.
Yeah, you're right there. That wave of Chunky is going to go beyond the 5.5 even. It's going to go up to the 6.17. So this makes the requirement that much more, Rick.
Conditions looking nice and clean, live action. Jordy racing down the line. There's a solid combo from the big South African who hammers the final section, does well to stay on his feet, pumps the fist. We got a heat on our hands.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go.
What a wave this is, Rick.
Oh, beautiful line standing up in front of him. Jordy just floats over that first section, comes out of it with so much speed and just throws down the big hammer carve. Gets to that finishing maneuver, completely blows the tail out, and he was almost out of control for a second there on this final move. But just so much speed into this cut, and not easy with all that turbulence and froth on the wave face, but the big man just keeping that rail wet, keeping it sunk into the face of the wave, and that big blow tail.
With Chianca and Smith going at it, and both have an excellent score on the board already. Jordy tucking into the barrel, locked in, he'll come out. Drives out on the open face, gets some release in the tail. Really clicking here at Burleigh Heads on a Friday afternoon, and he'll get a big finish as well. And a flex. You think he still wants it, you know he does. Clean conditions.
Oh, he just fell down that little step and engaged so quickly. Got a great line through that barrel, and then just does some great work down the line here, connecting, weaving off the tops, and his final finishing turn again. Didn't over push it. He knew that if he just put that exclamation mark on it, the judges were going to eat it up. Check the drop in here, Rab.
Yeah, it's a beautiful drop in, and he just backdoored that section. This is a phenomenal little Burleigh barrel. And then he came out and finished off deep barrel.
Yeah, the barrel of the event. Nice cover, came out and really got on the attack, drifted the fins, right on the bowl there, Rick, and then great variation.
Yeah, just gave us a bit of everything on this one. And watch him as he goes into this final turn here, does a little full shift of the body, upper arm movement, and then comes out and flexes. In vogue through this event. Jordy pumping down the line here, starts to work up for something, takes to the air, gets the little slob grab. So it's really getting into fashion, these slob grab airs, and Jordy goes for the spin right at the end as well. Geez, he did so well to even maintain enough speed to ride out.
We just have to remember that that guy is so good at surfing, and definitely the home for JS surfboards.
Jordy Smith locking into a big wall. Second wave, and he lays down a searing cutback. Perfect flow off the bottom. Drills it off the top again. Third maneuver, he attacks this section again. Doesn't have to go early. He's attacking on both finishes, and when claims come out this early, it's a big sign for Jordy that he is in his happy place. Feeling the rhythm, how much he loves pro surfing, and he's just provided a healthy backup, or a healthy score to go with the 783.
A number with an 8 in front of it at least. Look at this wall as it stands up in front of Jordy. He attacks a beautiful carving hook under the lip, straight up into another big layback hack, and then just gets caught on his toe side rail, but manages to get the final finishing turn. And as we see the water angle here, this will give you a real indication of the height of this wave and the intensity of these turns. Jordy just being able to hold that rail line just a little bit longer. And when we talk about power surfers, this guy is right up at the top of the list. Does so well to negotiate that final finishing turn. Love the slow-mo action here. That back arm just really angling through the turn there, brings it across the shoulders. That helps that momentum and speed, holds the power right in the center spot of the board, and then here throws the back arm down behind him, acts as a little sort of pivot point, cuts that turn short, and then right here he was just hanging on that inside rail trying to get up because he needed to get up there early. We know that there's consequences when you hit this final section late. It doesn't end well, but Jordy masterful in his attack on that wave.
Jordy Smith fired up, throwing the claims there for good reason.
Hang up his options, and he's making his move, going after a 5.18 up into the first section. Again, goes to the layback. It's a nice hit and throws everything at the final section, stays on his feet, pumps the fist, and for good reason. Some real commitment there. And that should get him the score he needs to get back in front, but this heat isn't over. Still just 2 minutes remaining.
Let's check out the replay. George cuts the bottom turn short, jams in the pocket, eyes off that second section, and just levitates over the lip there for a little moment. Finds the landing, gets engulfed, comes out with the fist towards the sky.
Oh, wow. That was so dynamic, right? It's kind of crazy. Just the disappearing act, I think, adds to the drama. It really does, you know, as a fan and as a spectator, commentator watching that. You're thinking, hang on, did this thing eat him or did he make it? And that was just beautiful surfing and under pressure too. So, yeah, great. This is going to be a great score for George.
Okay, Jordy Smith now looking to improve on a 5.33 to get back out in front. Bit of a trip, but cleaned it up nicely. Oh. A nice little layback, forces another turn in there on the inside. These guys are giving it everything they can and not leaving any points. But it's a small price to pay for a score and a place in the final.
Oh, little layback check turn for Jordy. The minutest of trip-ups on the bottom turn, but cleans it up well and then gets a little slam on the end section. So watch this, little layback hack, but he keeps all that momentum going down the line. And this little hack here, another layback, just driving so hard off that back foot. Clean wrap with speed. And for me, just the pace of these last two exchanges from Crosby and Jordy, they have just turned up the volume. So it'll be a mid-range score. Live action.
Jordy, big flow, air under the board, gets out in front, drills the lip line. Nice pace for the big man, almost getting stuck. And then leaping over that dry rock, and he will spin his way out. Surfing every little bit of that wave till it stopped breaking on the bricks. Feeling good on this one, Flick.
Yeah, he is looking so good. Just powers over that section. This turn here, I loved. And the third one here almost pokes the nose. Beautiful recovery. And I think it speaks to what we were saying before earlier today. Any wave you get, you want to make it count. You know, there was that touch and go moment there, but just beautiful read here with that lip line into the jam. Lots of variety. That's what I'm seeing straight away. I love that. this turn here. Just that beautiful lip line. You can see he almost touched that inside rail just to maintain stability. And this is the variety, just that layback hack. Bit of a tail jam, and then into this third, into the lip. Now right here, he almost pokes. And just the control to get on that back foot to stop that nose poking in such a short amount of time it's pretty incredible. And the little finish here, so great read by Jordy.
Right to the top of the WSL ranks. Here comes Jordy Smith. He's finalled here before, but now his name will be etched into the stairs here, Flick.
Oh, it's so cool to see. Two of the big boys there. See Justin, looks like Binsy's giving him the chair up there. A bit of a lopsided chair. But, I mean, what a moment for Jords. I mean, the fact that he is now in the yellow jersey too, heading into that next event, is incredible. At the stage he's at in his career, finding some of the career best form, it's inspiring.
It really is, yeah. You know, he's been in such good form, not only at this event, but all year. And he finds himself at the top of the ratings now, deservedly so. And, you know, it's all about what happens now for him. It's all about making that 5. How far up the 5 can he get?
Let's have a look at Jordy's run through to the final. It wasn't easy. Imai Kalani to vault. A very difficult draw. Imai was surfing to keep his place on tour, Flick.
Yeah, when you're coming up against, I guess, someone who has nothing to lose, well, basically nothing to lose and just trying to gain, right, it can be pretty dangerous. And so coming up against Imai, yeah, tough draw for sure. But, I mean, this is when we had some serious solid power in the lineup here. And I'm just sorry, but how do you beat Jords out there? I don't know how you do, because this is where he really comes into his own. He just muscles and overpowers this wave, rides out with ease. Big dog on tour, and yeah, taking them down.
Yeah, he put together some magic heats out here, Rich. He's always got those deep set rail turns that he leans into, but just surf with incredible speed at main break this year.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, the older guys on tour can be guilty of losing sometimes, but Jordy's almost turned the volume up on it, surfing faster than ever before. But just the composure in the heats and the management of the heats, he never looked like he was off pace. He always made the right decisions, placement of manoeuvres on the waves and waves choice. It was just impeccable. It was really, really on point.
Yeah, got busy and adapted nicely to the conditions in his heat. Semi-final heat against Crosby Colapinto, and then had to tackle the big bro in the final, Griffin, and Griff's just been absolutely on fire and collected the 2 most highlight moments of this event and 2 of the biggest moments of the year so far. But Jordy just delivered when he got those opportunities. We knew they were going to be precious today.
Yeah, completely. Delivered on the opportunities, kind of error-free, and adapting to the conditions, right? Just speaking of the experience, realising, okay, this isn't really going to pan out the way we want. Just got to get busy under priority, move around, hunt around. And, yeah, adaptability got him the win.
Sometimes you got to win ugly, win dirty. You just got to get it done.
Usually a winner's sort of gets the chair from the keyhole all the way up to the presentation stage, but they made Jordy walk to the top of the stairs before they picked him up. Got the excellent score in the final. That was really the difference, and Griffin was really forced to wait for his opportunity with priority and never really got it.
Nah, just unfortunately the Ocean did tend to have a nap right towards the end of today. But, you know, again, someone had to come away with the victory, and Jordy just had this flow, had this momentum that seemed to be in sync with just the sets today, and he's a worthy champion. You can't deny that he's a worthy champion here.
Yeah, on both sides. When we came here and had those semi-finals established, it almost didn't matter who won through. It was going to be someone that gave us great moments at different stages, at main break, over the channel at the box as well, across the bay. And Jordy is the man who's broken through for that incredible 8th CT victory.